Davey, 3-0 defeat at home at Celtic, match day 6, since Premiership. Looking frustrated, sum it up.
Probably more anger than frustration, if I'm honest with you. We give away a really cheap penalty, like, is it Kyogo, innit? I think it's Kyogo. The foul's on, isn't it? Is it Kyogo or Maeda?
It's Maeda, I think, by the Lucas.
Anyway, we get up there, but it comes from one of our set plays, so we'd lost a wee bit of shape in terms of two centre-halves are further up the park. Put a ball in the box, Isle gets in the end, it drops into Joe's hands, he's a quick counter. We've lost a wee bit of shape in the midfield because it came from a set play. But I don't think it should lead to the ball ending up in the back of our net, because it's a cheap penalty you give away, it's a bad decision. He's not going anywhere. We can keep showing him, he's back to the goal, he's out in the corner, the 18-yard box, but out facing the corner flag. So he's not going anywhere, so a cheap decision. Then you give yourself a wee bit of a mountain to climb. But I actually thought we started climbing that. I thought we'd done quite well. I thought the game was very, very competitive in 11v11. Mo Sangare was causing problems. I had a slight tweak after that. I swapped him and Pittman. And then Mo played a wee bit further up the park, and Pitts came out this left centre mid as an 8. It seemed to work. Got a wee bit more runs in behind. Mo got on the second, first contact, second contacts. He was causing a wee bit of trouble, and Pitts was probably nullifying him in the wide areas defensively. So it kind of worked. Joe gets sent off in 30 minutes, and I think we're really, really competitive at that point. The momentum's probably back in our favour, albeit we're 1-0 down. Second half, we speak about it in the changing room, how we need to be tight. We've got to always remember about off the ball. Our biggest threat today is going to be when we've got the ball, trying to chase that goal and not quite switching on in terms of when we've got the ball and curling their shape, basically, or a quick counter or a quick turnover. The frustrating part is we kind of went through this 2-3 weeks ago in terms of the St Mirren goal. We lose it down our right in the mid-third, just around the halfway line. We don't look after the ball properly, give them the ball back, when really it should be put in the channel, and we're in, we get a corner, we get a throw in, or we get on the end of it. So really, it's really, really tight, it's really, really congested. We get caught in the ball, or the pass gets intercepted, it gets pinged out to the left-hand side. We don't stop the cross on the left-hand side, we don't get the first contact, Shamal saves it, and we don't get on the second contact, well, the first contact from Shamal, but they've had the two contacts in the box, and very, very similar to the St Mirren goal, so really, really frustrated in that element of it, if I'm honest. And then really, 10 men, playing against 10 men, 2-0 down. I actually thought, being honest, I've probably thought Celtic's shape, Celtic's application was probably a lot better than ourselves.
Fair. Celtic were probably pretty clinical in their chances. They did have a lot of the ball, but scored at key moments, didn't they? So kind of 15, 46 and kind of right at the death.
Aye, they score early doors, and early doors the first half, early doors the second half, and then right at the death.
How frustrating is that for you, Davey, coming straight out after half time and
that's the most frustrating aspect, is you give that goal away, and then I think, do you know what, they're in a game, at half time they're coming back out, they're in a game, they know they're in a game, they get that second goal, and I just think it gives them a wee bit of comfort. And then they actually get a wee bit of confidence as well, because there's a good chance they're going to hang on to the 3 points, because are they going to concede 3 goals? Probably not, but we're going to give it our best to try and get that back. At 2-0, Noobs has a huge chance. I think he's got to do better.
Place it.
Well, I think you're putting that in with your side foot. You're not trying to chip it from a central area. You're just putting it in a corner with a wee bit of power in it. A wee bit probably, I know it's slightly different, but the Feyenoord second goal, he's just kind of opened up and put his foot through it, but side footed, there's a wee bit of direction and power on it. So anyway, we don't take that opportunity, and that's a big moment for us. You've just lost a big moment in terms of the goal you've gave away. And then really, the second half, I think they probably worked a wee bit harder than us, on and off the ball, in all honesty. Our decision making lacked a wee bit in the mid-third and the defensive third, I felt. And in the entries we did get in the final third, I think we've got it, but execution wasn't quite there. But that's probably down to Celtic denying the space in the wide areas, in the central areas, denying the space, working hard, culling that space, because they're protecting the 2-goal lead at that point.
Absolutely, they didn't quite drop off, but they certainly sat slightly deeper.
They got behind the ball to protect their lead.
So much threat with Kyogo, Dyson Maeda. And as you said, off the ball as well, their kind of press from high makes a big difference in the game.
I think, I'm not being funny, I think anyone watching Maeda, in terms of his absolute work rate,
unbelievable.
He's like 3 men in the press, and I'm not even kidding. I remember, I think the ball got recycled from our left to the midfield to the right hand side, and he was the man that was pressing the wide areas. And it's something I try and drum into the players, top level players. They've got that in their locker. He's played at World Cups, he's playing the Champions League for a reason. But if we want to get to these heights, that's where we need to go. But I thought on and off the ball, Celtic's intensity and application was was better than ours after the second goal. Up to the second goal, I don't think I could say that hand in heart. I think it was a decent game of football. It's quite competitive, 2 different styles of play. You can see that, but it's going to be like that. But we were definitely in the game at that point. Second goal kills it, and then the third goal's just disappointing because to lose 2-0 against 10 men, I know it was a 3-0 scoreline, but we've lost 2 goals playing against 10 men. That's a disappointing aspect.
Doesn't get any easier. Going to Ibrox on Wednesday, quarter-finals of Viaplay Cup. How do you pick the boys up? How do we get ready for it?
I'm not really speak about picking up. We're professionals. If we're going to Ibrox, we're 1 game away from Hampden and we can't motivate ourselves, we're in trouble. You're in the wrong game. But in terms of put this to bed tomorrow morning, we're obviously in tomorrow, so we'll walk over the goals and we'll put them to bed tomorrow morning. I'll make sure we're focusing our energy is then spent looking at Rangers and working on the detail going into the Rangers game. It's going to be a difficult game of football. Whenever you're playing the Old Firm, but playing the Old Firm back to back is not ideal. But if you want to play at the top table and you want to be involved in competitions, this is the kind of schedule you've got to deal with. So we never got this far last year. We're 1 game away from Hampden, and I think we'll go into the Rangers game knowing we can do better than probably what we've done the last time. But I'm under no illusions how hard it's going to be. With Celtic being out of the competition, it probably gives Rangers that little bit more impetus. With either the Old Firm, when they drop out, it probably the other one's chances or probabilities of winning silverware increase. And that's not me being giving up there. It's just history tells you that. If you look at the facts, you look at the data. So Rangers will have that wee bit of extra motivation. Mick and his staff, Mick and his players will have that wee bit of extra motivation because they know there's a very, very good opportunity that if they can deal with us, they're at Hampden. Yep. And they're 2 games away from a final. But you know what? I've got to flip that. That's where we are also. So with Celtic not being the cut, it's a great opportunity for ourselves. A great opportunity for ourselves to get ourselves to Hampden in a semi-final. So that's what we're going to try and do. It's cup football. We'll try and be aggressive, we'll try and take the game to Rangers, but playing against a top football side, so it's going to be difficult. But that's why we're in football. I love these games, love them, and that's the biggest part of the job, the most enjoyable part of the job. Probably not so much after the games at times, but I love pitting my wits against the big clubs. I love seeing my players coming up against these big players because you know what, on our day we can put anybody out the cup and we can take points off anyone. Wasn't to be today, doesn't mean we can't do it on Wednesday night.
Absolutely. And just finally, just a word on our Mick. Mickey Devlin, is any chance for Wednesday? Outside chance, if I'm honest. He's been such a big part of the squad, hasn't he, since he's...
Well, you're looking at it as a day. I think Mick's really helped with that defensive solidity. I think he's been brilliant for us. I really do. I think he's been brilliant on and off the ball. He's a leader on and off the park. Every club, Celtic were missing Carter Vickers today. He's probably one of the best centre-backs in the league. I think when we went to Ibrox the last time, Goldson was out the squad. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at it, you've got to deal with it. But Mick was a huge loss. I had Sean Kelly on the bench today, Tom Parts on the bench, Michael Nottingham still not made the bench as yet. Potentially 3 centre-halves that would have maybe allowed me to play a settled shaping system, but Sean and Partsy have been back for the long term. Partsy done his hammy, Partsy's probably a wee bit further ahead than Sean, but I didn't think I could start either of them in a back 3 today. I just thought it was a little bit early. So kind of the personnel available kind of dictated the shape, but that's 4 centre-halves really. 4 centre-backs.
Was it kind of heart and mouth again when Parksy went down towards the end?
A little bit, because you're thinking, I've got Sean's needing game time, but he's needing more sessions under his belt. Michael Nottingham's not a million miles away, but he's hardly trained since he's came to the club. And then I think, and Mick Devlin's potentially a week to 10 days away, potentially, maybe a wee bit sooner, maybe a wee bit later. And you're like, the last thing I need is another centre-back. I'm sitting at the club with 6 centre-backs, don't get me wrong, 2 or 3 of the players can play different positions, but they've all played in the centre-back area. I mean, parts of it down, I went, oh come on, please give me a wee bit of luck here. But I've not really spoke to parts here, assessed it. Hopefully he wakes up tomorrow morning and he's in a better place with it, but I think it was his shoulder. But I'll get a wee chat and I'll get back in with the medical team.
No worries, Davey, thanks for your time. We'll see you Wednesday.
Cheers.